Greetings, Band Warriors. Greetings. Greg is here with another message of life from Results Kill Excuses. Grateful to share this message. And if you are new here, my name is Greg. I started Results Kill Excuses as a way to hold myself accountable. 13 years ago, I hit a rock bottom in 2012. And I had to do two things coming off of my crisis. First was I had to make some tough decisions, and ultimately that biggest decision that's been one of the most transformational was saying no more drinking, right? I gave up the alcohol. It was a vice of mine. I remember getting hooked on alcohol probably from the time I was about 15 years old. First drinking about 10, but really creating an alcoholic pattern and a dependency on the drink from an early age. And it only got worse and worse and worse and worse as life continued on. And yet my second thing I had to do coming off of my rock bottom was I had to ask for help. And for a guy like me, that's hard. That was a hard thing. Even in that desperation moment, I was still just like resistant to saying I need help. I was like, I can fix this. I can figure this out. How do I do all that? And yet I get on here and I've created Results Kill Excuses. Not only to hold myself accountable, but to help others to lock into their own sense of self-accountability. Because that's something we really need in this day and age. It's easy to blame others. It's easy to blame the system and blame the politics and blame the circumstances of whatever it is that you've been through in your life. But it's not until you finally say, you know what, that's all excuses. Those are all excuses for you to not do the work, to not take extreme ownership of your situation and say, you know what, ain't nobody gonna fix it. Blaming the government, blaming whatever it is you want to do, the weather for how you feel, whatever it is. Those are all excuses. And when we live in those excuses, it's really a protection mechanism, which is ultimately a survival mechanism. It's our way of surviving. It's our way of living small. And if you're somebody that could get honest enough with yourself to realize that you make a lot of excuses to not take action, to not start doing more, to be a better version of yourself. And that's ultimately what I wanted. I wanted to be a better version. I knew that the alcoholic version of me, good guy, social guy, the kind of guy that everybody wanted to be at the party, because I always could be the life of the party. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of manipulation around that version of myself. That wasn't the true and authentic version, and yet it took hitting that rock bottom to realize that there was a better version of myself that didn't need the drugs, that didn't need alcohol, to have a great time, to be living my best life, to have fun, and yet, what are you using to hold yourself back? What are you telling yourself internally about yourself that is probably rooted in a past experience, a time long ago, and yet it still shows up? It takes a real deep sense of self-awareness to start to reveal these parts of who we are. And I truly believe that what I have experienced in my 13-year healing journey, a journey of one day at a time, sobriety, life on life's terms, is that the lower version of who I am is there. It's always going to probably be there. But what has happened to me over the course of 13 years of healing has been an opportunity to quiet that inner critic, that excuse maker, the voice of doubt and fear. And by turning down that voice inside, I've amplified the opposite, which is the higher self. It's a voice of abundance. It's a voice of success. It's a voice of being unstoppable, no limits. And it's interesting how almost each and every day I have to double down on that voice. I have to wake up with intentions and set a clear path that who am I going to be today? Do I want to regress and relapse into that version of me that's always fearful, doubtful, filled with guilt, shame, remorse, grief, very apathetic, wounded? Or can I choose today to be that version of me that is healthy, wealthy, successful, driven, unstoppable, loving, caring, kind, generous, that has a cup that is so overflowing that I can just truly show up for others in a way like never before, out of unconditional love. And I'm here to tell you that you have that exact same choice each and every day. You may not feel like it, but again, that is the point. Having the awareness to realize that just because you wake up not feeling like being the best version of yourself, that doesn't make something wrong with you. Because if you can even acknowledge, man, I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling down, I feel like giving up, I feel like quitting, I feel like just being miserable all day, and allowing my feelings to control you, I mean, you're going to stay stuck. That is the sense of being stuck. And that's why here at Results Kill Excuses, I use something called the BAMF warrior. That badass motherfucking warrior that I believe exists in each and every one of us. It takes you channeling that BAMF warrior, that fighting spirit inside of you, to say, you know what, I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to be controlled by how I feel. And the only way that I've experienced for myself to be able to overcome giving in to how I feel, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, however you identify, it doesn't matter. What matters is when you wake up, do you have a practice, call it journaling, meditation, prayer, reflection, breath work, that allows you to start planting seeds for you to become the best version of yourself? Because along the 13 years of healing, that is what is bringing forth the results that I desire. Back in the day, I was if I felt bad, usually what I would do is on a weekend, a day that I didn't have a lot of responsibility, I'd just check out. I'd start probably drinking, smoking first thing in the morning. When I say smoking, using THC. and just kind of say, I'm just gonna cruise through the day. But that's really just checking out. It's numbing out. It's saying, I don't feel good, and this is what I use to feel better. And what I've learned along this healing journey is that although that may make me feel better for the time being, it never heals. It never truly shifts who I am from the depths of my soul, my being. And because I realized that I had a lot more power than my lower self, that inner critic, would lead me to believe. And I'm here to tell you that you have the same. You have a lot more power than that voice inside your head wants you to believe about yourself. That inner voice is relentless. Not until you start to say, I'm going to go to war with that version of myself. And by war, I mean you're just going to face it. You're going to sit in it and start to understand it. Listen to the voice. And guess what? You can start to engage that voice and be like, really, really? Okay, you want me to give up? You want me to quit? You think I'm a piece of shit? You think I'm never going to be good enough? You think that I'm unworthy of having good things happen? You think, right, I'm a this, I'm a slob, I'm a that, I'm a this. It's like we're our own worst enemies. And yet we can also be our own most incredible mentors, coaches, guides, and ultimately rescuers. Because this life is self-rescue. No one's going to rescue you. You hearing this message and this message resonating with you about really reflecting about your lower self, that inner critic, and me asking you, are you ready? Are you thinking? Are you in a place where you're starting to kind of just get frustrated with that shit and say, you know what, there's something more for me? Well, I'm here to encourage you, but I can't do the work for you. And when I say do the work, what kind of work? Well, it's the self-improvement work. And usually it starts with an assessment. And usually self-improvement isn't about doing new things, although that's important. Self-improvement is about stopping doing the things that are causing you harm. Really sit on that for a moment. You don't need to get overwhelmed, which your inner critic will want you to do. The lower self, the inner critic, will get you all psyched out. Oh, you can't do all that stuff. You can't start journaling. You hated writing in school. Why would you want to do that now? You hate this. You don't like that. You don't want to do it. And it's like, great, don't do any of it. Your inner critic wants you to be there. And yet, you're either going to just continue to just accept everything you hear as truth, and I'm telling you it's not. I'm here to give you that guidance through my experience that not everything you think is true. And again, it takes self-awareness. It takes a desire and a willingness to say, can you challenge that negativity? Well, how do you challenge it? By literally starting to write this stuff down. When these thoughts come up, especially if you can really be observant of your thoughts. And a great book for that, it was one of the first books that really started taking me deeper and deeper on my healing journey, was The Power of Now. It really starts to show you that emotional pain body and that inner critic, that is not your true and authentic self. That's the false self. And yet we identify with it and we define ourselves by it because we're carrying around wounds in the form of emotional trauma that haven't been healed. And a lot of you listening to this message right now, if you would at least consider, well, why haven't your wounds been healed? It's been 30 years since you were abused or neglected or betrayed, especially 0 to 10 years old. This is where the roots lie to your pain, to your wounds, your trauma. It's called trauma. It's 0 to 10. And you're like, well, for me, I'm 46 years young now. It's like, man, that's already been over 30 years. How come it's not gone? Why didn't it heal? I got a cut last week. It healed in 7 days. I got sick last month. It went away in 7 days. Why wouldn't my emotional trauma go away after 30 years? I don't understand why it doesn't just go away. I'm just letting you know it doesn't go away. You have to sit in it. And that's a big part of what I help people do, is to learn how to create a greater sense of self-awareness, start to do your life review, find the courage and the strength to really just sit in the uncomfortable, sit in that discomfort. And so many people would rather avoid ever having to do that, and then we don't realize that so many of the problems that we face throughout the entirety of our life is all based in the unhealed trauma from our childhood. There's a literal lack of awareness to even realize that those things connect. And it's not until we go through a crisis or some kind of a moment, a spiritual awakening, for us to say, you know what, what's really going on? Why am I so self-sabotaging? Why can't I control myself? This was everything that was happening with me before I hit my rock bottom that got me started on this path. Is I was just like, man, why can't I control myself all the time? I could control myself most of the time. And I couldn't quite understand why. Why does this version of me emerge from the depths of my soul and then wreak havoc and then just kind of walk off as the house is burning as if it's fucking cool, and it's not cool. There's nothing cool about it. It was terrible, because I know that in my heart of hearts, I've hurt people that I genuinely love and care about. I've hurt them emotionally, not just physical. I've never been much of like a physical harming people, but it's the emotional piece. It's like sharing that anger and that frustration and that hurtful spirit. And if you're somebody that's hearing this message at this level, and somebody that wants to start doing something about it, empowering yourself, you're ready. It's like your time is now. Well, I do have some resources for you if you're ready. And where I would lead most people to start is you could download the Results Kill Excuses app. Just type in those 3 words into your app store. And right there, once you sign up, it's free. There are 5 one-week lessons. They're courses that you can print out the worksheets. You can purchase a first 5 self-discovery workbook, or you can just print out the worksheets. And in there, the reason why it's called the first 5 is because I really think that's like the beginning of what I call the self-discovery phase. Anytime you start going through this kind of awakening, you start to realize, like, I'm tired of this self-sabotaging version of who I am. I don't understand why I keep making messes out of my life. And you know that you can't keep blaming everyone else. You need to really take ownership and figure it out. And this is that place, if you're there. If you want to go even farther, you should check out the 1% Better Everyday Journal, which will really help to build you up to start reprogramming the negativity, start programming positivity, right? It's going to help you to start holding yourself accountable with monthly, weekly, and daily goals. Low bar stuff, not like high bar stuff that you continue the patterns of self-sabotage. You overcome that. And it's also going to have literally a 3-month coaching / mentoring program that really guides you through a deeper understanding of self-sabotage, self-discovery, self-improvement, self-development, self-awareness, and self-mastery, which is really the process that I've put myself through intuitively to get to where I'm at right now. And so I invite you to check out the 1% Better Everyday Journal. We also have a Breath of Life Healing Circle. You can go to resultskillexcuses.com and check out that resource. And beyond that, it's for those of you that are interested in really extreme accountability, it's one-on-one coaching, 3 and 6 month programs, meeting 2 times or 4 times a month. And at the end of the day, I have everything from free resources that are very, like, the first 5 courses are probably valued at over $1,000 because it's literally 1 month, every day, full support, 5 courses for you to really start to go through it. It's not easy work. It is challenging work, but it's the right work for the right person that's ready to do it right now, to stop the excuses and to start saying, I'm ready. Something's got to shift, and there's nowhere else to look. You can look everywhere else. Look all over. Look everywhere for something to change, and it's like it's got to be looking within. Look within, and that is what all the courses, whether it's the 1% Journal, the first 5 self-discovery courses, even the Breath of Life, it'll get you out of your head and into your body to start really being present with yourself. Allow your thinking mind to rest, especially the critic. Give that critic a timeout, a hard timeout, and really start allowing yourself to start planting some seeds of success, of prosperity, of abundance, of health, of wealth, of love, of joy, of peace. And I am grateful for you listening to this message today as I see the 22222s on the timer. I appreciate every one of you that takes time to comment on the messages, and I welcome you to join the community. Download the app. Start to invest some time in yourself and in your healing. This is, I believe, a spiritual calling that all people have on this planet, is to start healing their emotional wounds. Someone recently commented on one of the videos that 99% of people don't care. And it can feel like that. I get you, I hear you. It can feel like 99% of people don't care. But here's the thing. You don't need to worry about if 99% of people don't care. Do you care? And if you do, what are you doing about it? And what it really pointing towards is, what is your self-care? Are you truly, you can say, oh, I care so much. I care about this issue and that issue. I care about global warming, and I care about freedom and blah, 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 social issues. Great. I see so many people so passionate about these things. But yet, when they look in their own life, and you look at who you are, and you look within, it's like we latch on to these things outside of ourselves with a lot of passion and a lot of energy, and yet we have little control over it. We make a lot of noise, and we get really emotionally charged about these things. And yet, the only thing that you have control over is you. And so I'm inviting you to join me and many others to start taking care of yourself, loving yourself, and doing the work that will lead you from a place of suffering to a place of success, true success from the inside out. I've totally transformed my life. I trust myself in any and all situations, and I know that when I walk and I move and I enter into a room, people notice me. Not because I'm the biggest, tallest, strongest person in the room. It's because my energy is authentic. It is light. It is loving. It is kind. And it's because I'm centered on myself. I know that I can control me. I can't control you, and I can't control anyone else. And if I try to control others, that is an exhausting way of doing life. And a lot of us get stuck in that, controlling. It's not about control. It's about awareness. It's about surrendering the control, the fear, the doubt, and aligning yourself with your highest self, with the highest potential of what you are capable of being. Because I believe there's a gift inside of you. And I can guarantee you that when you start investing time in discovering and working with yourself, healing yourself through grace and mercy and really compassion, the other side of that is such an authentic, beautiful, fulfilled version of yourself that is a complete inspiration on this planet. If you want to make this place a more beautiful, harmonious place for us all to live, create a beautiful, harmonious environment within your heart, within your mind, and within your soul. It starts with you, it ends with you. Join me on this journey. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to today's message. If you have a chance, subscribe to the channel, share the message, comment down below, introduce yourself if you're new, introduce yourself to the community if you are starting to experience some growth and transformation. You never know who else is going to read your comment and connect with and feel like, you know what, now is the time. Take the leap. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.